Welcome back to Trinity Baptist College. What an exciting finish we had in the opener of this doubleheader between the Trinity Baptist College Eagles and the Tigers of Edward Waters College of the NAIA Gulf Coast Athletic Conference. Brian Lopez, a walk-off two-run homer, gave Trinity Baptist the win by a final score of 3-1. Both starting pitchers went the distance. Jacob Burr, as he did last week, went all 7 innings and allowed just 1 unearned run. But he was matched very well by Tigers starter Manuel Guerra, who ended up going 6 1/3 and taking the tough luck loss. Both of these pitchers got a lot of early ball counts put into play, kept down their pitch limit, and were able to go all the way. And as we get ready to start game 2, Nick McAdon is on the mound for Coach Copeland and the Trinity Baptist College Eagles, a sophomore from the First Academy in Orlando, Florida. The same batting order for the Tigers except for behind the plate and batting ninth, Parker Rook. We'll give the whole batting order in just a moment. McAdon is ready, and game number 2 is underway with a fastball down and away. Keyshawn Herring, the shortstop, up there now leading it off. Keelan Washington in right. Wyatt Reed, the DH, bats third. Caden Frankie, the cleanup man, at first base. Freddie Torres in center field. Finish it up in just a moment. After this one is fouled back, making the count 1-1. Freddie Torres bats fifth. He's in center. Joseph Eischen in left bats sixth. Marcus Judd at second, batting seventh. Tyler Rich at third, batting eighth. Chopper headed up the middle and into center field for a base hit, and just like he did in the first ball game today, Keyshawn Herring leads off with a single into center field. And Parker Rook doing the catching for the Tigers in the nightcap. Keelan Washington stepping in. Just saw Herring get a base hit. He was 1 for 3 in game number 1, a leadoff single, very similar to the one you just saw. Keelan Washington, nothing out of 2. Drew a walk late in the ball game, but Burr picked him off first base. Washington up there with a runner at first, nobody out. McAdon's pitch hits the batter, and pretty good start to the inning for the Tigers offense. A base hit and then a hit batsman. And with 2 on and nobody out, designated hitter Wyatt Reed steps up to the plate. McAdon on the mound here in game number 2. Wyatt Reed steps in. McAdon, no wins, 1 loss on the season, 8 innings pitched. He has allowed 10 earned runs. And a first pitch to Reed. Could be 2. Sweeney is able to recover and get the out at second. Probably would have been better off holding on to that ball, not risk throwing it away. Herring does advance to third. Washington is erased, and that is a fielder's choice. 4 unassisted on a ball that probably could have been a double play. So runners at the corners with 1 out. Caden Frankie at the plate. He had a double in 3 trips to the plate in game 1. Wyatt Reed was hit by a pitch late in that ball game, was 0 for 2 officially overall. And now Coach Copeland out to the middle of the infield. Ball took a funny hop on Jaron Sweeney, and I think Coach Copeland wants to talk about possible interference at second base and hopefully get the call overturned. But right now, as it stands, a fielder's choice, a 4 unassisted putout at second base. That'll give us a chance to give you the Trinity Baptist College lineup for game number 2. A couple of changes from what we saw earlier today. Kristen Draper leading off in left field. Michael Machado batting second. He's playing third. Carlos Sanchez at short. Caleb Albritton, the designated hitter, he's batting fourth. Jaron Sweeney, whom you just saw make that play, he's batting fifth, playing second base. Ryan Brooks is getting the start in right. He's batting sixth. David Cavedo, who pinch hit late in the opener, he's at first base, batting seventh. Daniel Burnsed doing the catching here in game number 2. He's batting eighth. And the hero of game 1, senior Brian Lopez in center field. He will bat ninth. Now the umpires are talking in the middle of the infield. Coach Copeland heading back to the dugout. Still awaiting the final verdict on the play. It was a chopper that Sweeney had a little trouble with, but he was able to recover, get the out at second. And runners are at the corners, and it looks like the call will stand. So Caden Frankie, the cleanup hitter, at the plate. RBI situation, one man out. Herring led off with a base hit. Washington was hit by a pitch. He was forced out at second on the fielder's choice from Wyatt Reed. So you're up to date in case you're just joining us. Eagles won the first one 3-2 yesterday. Ed Waters won downtown 15-2. Check that, 3-1 was the final score in the first game today. Here's a first pitch fastball inside, taken for a ball. Umpires have switched places in the opener. The gentleman now doing the bases had a very wide strike zone. We'll see if that's the case in game 2, but Macedon didn't get that call, and he doesn't get this one either. And it's 2 balls, no strikes. Great pitchers duel between Jacob Burr and Manuel Guerra in the opener. This one a good rip by Frankie, and he just missed, putting that one into that big gap in left center field. That would all likelihood driven home both runners. 2 balls and a strike. Macedon from the stretch. Chopper could be 2. Sanchez to Sweeney, throw to first in the dirt, but Quevedo scoops it out for the double play. 6-4-3 for outs 2 and 3. Tigers get a hit and a hit batsman, but leave runners stranded at the corners. After a half inning, we have no score. Bottom of the first, a nifty double play turned by the middle infield of the Eagles. Sanchez to Sweeney over to first, and Quevedo dug it out of the dirt to keep Ed Waters College off the scoreboard. I'm saying hello to freshman of Trinity Christian Academy and varsity catcher for Coach Gil Morales. This is Austin Arocha. I got an extra mic. You want to join us for a little bit? All right, hang on. I'll get you hooked up, and we're going to talk to Austin Arocha, who's going to be on his way to Plant City as the TCA Conquerors begin play next Friday night. Christian Draper will lead things off in game number 1. Draper, a base hit in the 5th in 3 attempts, but he hit the ball sharply all 3 times up. Julio Flores on the mound for the Tigers. We'll tell you about him in just a moment. This first pitch misses outside for ball 1. Flores making his 3rd appearance, first start, 3 innings, no runs allowed. Pitch is up and away, but it is called on the corner to even up the count at a ball and a strike. There you go, Austin. Make sure you speak up into that mic. We'll say hello to Austin Arocha in just a moment. The 1-1 from Flores. This one misses outside. Flores has walked 3 men and allowed 4 hits. Austin, good to see you at the ballpark today.
Good to see you too.
And you get to see your friend Casey Eisenberg. Caught game number 1, had a really nice game. A big base hit and threw out a couple of runners on the base pass as well. Fortunately for us, though, we got the walk-off home run to win it. Did you see that?
No, sir. I was off tutoring for math.
Tutoring, all right. Austin's also a student of mine in my physical science class this year. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and he can tell you we do a lot of math in that class, right, Austin?
Yes, sir.
All right, it was Brian Lopez, our center fielder, hit the walk-off. We won that ball game 3-1. Wish you were able to see that.
I do too.
3 balls, 2 strikes to Draper, leading off the ball game. Line drive, base hit in the left field, and the Eagles have a good start to the bottom of the first. Well, Ed Waters got a leadoff hit, failed to score. Let's hope that's not the case as Michael Camacho steps up to the plate. So Austin, as a freshman, made the varsity roster. Going to be the backup catcher behind Matt Luxembourg. He's a guy you're going to learn a lot from, though.
Yes, sir.
Senior Matt Luxembourg. Looking forward to next week.
Yes, sir. I am excited.
Now, these games are officially preseason games, so you'll probably get some action behind the plate. Coach Gill loves to get guys in the game, especially during preseason.
Yes, sir.
First pitch to Camacho, taken for a strike. How'd you feel when you found out you made the varsity roster?
I didn't know. I was hoping.
You're the one who told me.
Oh, I mean, they said that I'd be up and down, but I wasn't expecting that.
I did that as a junior. I played for both teams. I'll tell you in a moment a little bit about that. No balls and a strike. Flores with the pitch, and this one's fouled off. Our varsity coach came to me when I was a junior. He said, I'll give you a choice. You can be on the varsity, but you're not going to be a starter, or you can play for JV, where you'll start and get some innings on the mound. I said, well, sir, I'd rather play, so I'll go to JV. And he says, I like your attitude. You're going to play for both teams. Ended up a starter on varsity that same year. So work hard. Of course, it's going to be hard to beat out Matt Luxembourg. He's really good, but you get an opportunity. Coach Gill knows what you can do. Throw over to first, and the runner is back. Take advantage of any opportunity you get.
Yes, sir.
That's what the Eagles did in the first ball game. They got a runner on when we were tied at 1, and Lopez put one over the TBC banner out there. This one is fisted and foul out of play. So Austin, for a young guy like you, this is a big field, but these guys here are very capable of taking it deep here.
Oh, yeah.
15 years old or 14, very close to 15?
16.
16, okay. Most ninth graders, 15. Probably just recently turned 16.
Yes, sir.
Watch out, guys. He's going to have a driver's license soon. Runner on the move. Curveball. Throw down to second, and Draper is in there with his second stolen base of the year. Again, a good start to the inning for the Eagles. Christian Draper led off with a base hit. He just stole second. Now Camacho, with a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes, has a chance to put the Eagles ahead. Eagles today, so far, you know, they got beaten pretty badly yesterday, but they shook it off, and they're playing really good baseball so far today. That's exactly what your coach, Gil Morales, will expect of you guys. If you have a rough game, get out there and play hard again.
Yes, sir.
Austin Arosha, a freshman here at Trinity Christian Academy, who shares this campus and this facility and the ballpark here with the Eagles. That one misses inside for ball 1. Julio Flores making his first start. This is a junior. He is from Caracas, Venezuela. On the mound, delivers the pitch. This one in the dirt. And Rook is able to keep the ball in front of him and keep that runner at second base. There's something you need to do, Austin. Make sure the ball does not get past you.
Yes, sir.
That's one thing. If you want to earn a starting spot or get some playing time as a freshman, you better be able to block that ball in the dirt. Because those varsity guys, they're not going to care how old or young you are. They're going to take advantage of you if you let the ball get by. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Flores takes a long look. Draper with a huge lead, and the pitch. Line drive, that's going to get down. It'll get the runner to third. And second baseman Judd, I thought that ball was going to carry to him for the out. A great read by Draper. He had a much better angle to see how deep that ball was, and he was able to take third without much of a hassle. Put 4-3 in the book, but advanced Draper to third. 1 out, number 3 man Carlos Sanchez. He started a very cool double play to end the top of the first. Did you see it?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Caught a glimpse of that one.
Now, Coach Gill emphasizes defense quite a bit, doesn't he?
Oh, yes.
Make the plays. First pitch fastball. Misses a little bit outside. RBI opportunity for Sanchez. Flores with the pitch. Now the scoreboard has been changed. No balls and a strike. So that pitch made it 1-1, so I misread the scoreboard. Sanchez had an RBI single in the third in game 1, 1 out of 3. That plated Lopez, who scored 2 of the 3 runs that the Eagles got in Game 1 in the win. The 1-1, Sanchez started to flinch, held up in time, 2 balls and a strike. So, Austin, what are you looking forward to most? Knowing mostly you're probably going to be a reserve, but I'm sure you'll get some good playing time. You have a lot of talent behind the plate.
Yes, sir. I'm mostly just looking for the experience, not necessarily to get in, but to go and have fun with the team and get to know this team a little bit more, the varsity squad.
Of course, I'm sure you're going to get some JV time as well. That'll give you a chance to get some reps, keep your skills sharp, get some at-bats and throws down to second and all that.
Yes,
so
sir.
a lot of players do that, especially here at Trinity Christian. Play both ways. That could get a run home. That's a ground ball to second. Judd gets the out at first, but the Eagles are on the board. RBI ground ball from Carlos Sanchez scores Christian Draper. And the Eagles, other than the walk-off home run, have their first lead of the day. Great job by Sanchez. There's an example, Austin. Don't try to do too much. Just put the ball in play and get that run home. Caleb Albritton, the DH, at the plate, takes the first pitch, fastball upstairs. So, Austin, that's a fundamental play. Conquerors, they emphasize what we just said. Talked to Tyson Tucker about that on the radio show last night. Put the ball in play. That pitch, a fastball on the inside. No, it missed inside. 2 balls, no strikes. So you're doing some tutoring. I noticed some of the team was here in the batting cage earlier. Were you in there?
No, sir.
That's all right. Working on those academic skills. Fastball, outside corner. Albritton thought that was a little wide, but it's 2 balls and a strike. Of course, Coach Gill wants to make sure you guys excel in the classroom as well. Tell us how he talks to you about making sure you keep your grades up.
He says basically to keep your grades up, and then if you don't, they can help you either way. But if you don't have the grades, you can't play.
And he checks on it.
Yes, sir.
You know, he comes to me and he'll ask me, how's Arosha doing? How is his grades? How's his class conduct? He also wants you guys to respect your teachers as well.
Yes, sir.
Coach Gil Morales of Trinity Christian Academy. Ball 4 is up high. Albritton draws the walk. Well, the Eagles got a man aboard earlier in the inning. A stolen base, couple of ground balls. That's what you call a manufactured run. And now with 2 out, Jaron Sweeney has a runner aboard. But Coach Gill, he's looking out for the best of you guys. He's not just a baseball coach. He's a very godly man, really cares about all his players very much, wants you to excel in and out of the classroom, in and off the field. How do you like playing for Coach Gill and the assistants?
It's been really fun lately, as I've been getting to get up in grades, and then now that I've been currently a freshman and then playing as a varsity, that's really fun. And then these coaches here are really great.
Jared Sweeney was 2 for 3 in game 1, runner at first. And this fastball caught the inside corner. So far the home plate ump is giving the inner half, not so much on the outside corner. Pitchers have to adjust to the umpire.
Yes, sir, they do.
You're going to learn that too on the varsity level. Well, I'm glad that you're able to play both ways. Again, you'll get experience on the JV. You'll learn a lot from the varsity as well. So when Matt graduates, you'll probably take over. There's a drive towards right center. Keelan Washington is there, though, to put it away, and that is out number 3. Eagles get a hit and a walk, score 1 and leave 1. After 1, it's Trinity Baptist 1, Ed Waters nothing. Eagles got a run in the bottom half of the first. They lead 1-0. Nick McAdon on the mound here in game number 2. He allowed a leadoff single in the first, also hit a man, but no runs scored. Eagles came back with a hit and a run in the bottom half. It was earned. And top of the second, Freddie Torres will lead off. He's followed by Joseph Eischen and Marcus Judd. Torres 1 for 3, base hit and a couple of punch outs in game 1. Takes a first pitch fastball. Nick McAdon looking really sharp in the early going. Going to be tough to match Jacob Burr and Manuel Guerra as we saw earlier today, and that one's inside, nearly hit the batter. And Austin, late in game 1, in fact it was the 7th inning, we had a batter hit by a pitch, but the umpire did not award him. He was hit by the next pitch and then the home run. Check swing, and they're going to go down and see if he went. He did not. That is 2 balls and a strike on Torres. You want to see some good defense. These Tigers can pick it. High pop up towards right field. Ryan Brooks has to come in, and he's unable to make the catch. The wind knocked that one down just a bit, and Brooks might have lost it in the sun as well. That's going to go as an error on the right fielder. A 2-base error, allowing Torres into second base to lead things off, and tough start for the Eagles in the top of the second. Joseph Eischen, the left fielder, at the plate, 0 for 3 in the first game. Hit into a big 5-4-3 double play in the 7th. That was crucial and got Jacob Burr out of the inning. Long drive towards left. That might get out of here, and it is gone. First pitch fastball, and Eischen stroked it over the left field fence. Not much doubt about that one, huh, Austin?
No, sir. That was a good piece right there.
Well, the Tigers fell behind 1-0, now lead 2-1. The homer to left off the bat of Eischen. It's 2-1. Now, the run scored by Torres is unearned. Eichen's is earned. And the Tigers lead 2-1. The defense, got to make those plays out there. Brooks unable to make that catch. Came back to haunt the Eagles. Let's hope not too much more. And this one is fouled back. Marcus Judd made a couple of defensive plays in the bottom half of the first. In game 1, nothing out of 3. Reached on an error and went down on strikes twice. The 0-1 from McAdon, and a good curveball caught the inside corner.
That was a great pitch right there.
That was, and good to see Nick not getting phased by the home run. Come back and made a couple of good pitches so far. No balls, 2 strikes, and this one just missed the batter. He ducked out of the way just in time. Now Judd's going to plead a case that the ball might have ticked off his helmet. That's what it looked like he was talking about, but he's going to be up there with a count of 1-2. And now the first base umpire's coming in, trying to get in on the conversation, but home plate ump says it is a ball and 2 strikes. Judd on that ground ball that scored the run made the right play. You know, first inning, go ahead and get the out. Yeah. That's what he did. Here's a chopper. He has a chance to beat this one out. McAdon fields, throws, and an infield single for Marcus Judd.
Now, with a runner like that, you can't be focusing on the runner. You got to be focusing on getting the ball first.
He made a good play, had a little trouble picking it up, but the speed of Judd, I don't think he had a chance at him anyway.
I don't think he did either.
So Judd with the base hit. Count that as a single to the pitcher. He's aboard, nobody out. Tyler Rich at the plate. He was 0 for 2 in game 1. A pop-up and a grounder to the shortstop. Good speed on the bases. Both these teams have a lot of speed. Square around a bunt. McAdon fields. Nobody's covering. And a runner on his way to third. Here's a throw. It is in time. Well, a good recovery by McAdon. He went for the tag. Nobody covering. Jerry Sweeney was over at second base. Judd tried to go first to third. Let's credit McAdon. He turned around, saw the opportunity, and fired. That goes as a sac Actually a base hit bunt for Rich. And a runner caught 1-3 on his way to third base. So 1 out. That's a third hit of the inning. And Macedon's going to get a couple of warm-up tosses to make sure he's all right. So Austin, play fell apart, but you got a lesson out of there. Never give up. Look and see what else is going on. Judd thought he might have caught the Eagles sleeping, but the Eagles were ready for it. Third baseman Camacho calling for the throw, and Macedon fired a strike for the out. So 1 out, runner at first. Parker Rook, first plate appearance he's had in this series, and a throw to first, and the runner is back. Did not play yesterday, did not play earlier today. Rook, no hits so far on the season and limited opportunity, and he takes a strike on the outside corner. 9 at-bats. He has scored a run, however. And he's also driven one in. Here's a pitch, takes a curveball, and it's a little bit low. So the Tigers have come back with 2 in the top of the second. The big blow, Aishin, line drive homer over the left field fence. Big lead off first by Rich, and the pitch missed inside, and that's a call we've been getting so far. Didn't get it that time, however. Tyler Rich put down a good bunt. Actually turned out in the Eagles' favor. They got the lead runner on that play. And a breaking ball misses inside, so now Rook is ahead in the count. 3 balls and a strike. 1 out. Well, Macedon got a double play to end the first. Let's see if he can do it here in the second. And the pitch, swing and a miss. That one had a lot of dip to it.
That was a really good pitch.
What do you do when you know you probably shouldn't have swung at that one?
Just got to focus on the next pitch. That's all you can do.
That's right. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and now runner might be going, throw over to first. I was thinking for a moment 2 outs, but it's 2 strikes on the board, 1 out, and a throw to first by Macedon. Gorgeous weather out here. Hope you guys get to play in the same kind of weather next Friday.
Yes, sir.
We're going to be down there in Plant City carrying the Varsity Conquerors season opener, and we're going to broadcast it on FM 91.7 The Truth next Friday night at 7:30. Trinity Christian Academy plays Class 8A Plant City High School. Then on Saturday afternoon at 12:30, you're going to take on 7A Brandon. We'll stream that one live on Facebook, TCA Conquerors Athletics. Payoff pitch fouled off. Rook is able to stay alive. So hopefully while you're watching this game from the college players, you might pick up some things to help you out along the way.
Yes, sir.
You've seen some hustle.
That's always a good thing to have.
All right, you've seen some recovery on a missed play. And this one is chopped foul. That one looked like it hit off the foot of the batter, Parker Rook. Macedon has thrown a lot of pitches this inning. I'm not keeping pitch count, but after having a pretty easy first, well, he got in a little bit of trouble, but got out of it. He's thrown a bunch of pitches here in the second. Still only 1 out, runner not going, and the pitch is up high for ball 4. You know, guys are going to get their hits, but you want to limit those free passes.
Yes, that's all you can do as a pitcher. Not
First,
give up as many walks.
That's the first one by Macedon. Jacob Burr walked 1 in 7 innings in game number 1, one of the big reasons he ended up the winning pitcher. Top of the order, Keyshawn Herring led off the ball game with a base hit, a chopper right up the middle. He was left stranded. And he's up there with runners at first and second. Still 1 out. All 7 fielders pretty much straight away in their positions. And a bunt attempt. Runner caught off second base. Throw down is going into center field. But Lopez is right there. Burnside had an opportunity, but the throw was wide to the left. And good job by Brian Lopez. Back up the throws. This is a senior who's been playing a long time. He knows what to do out there. Okay, Coach Gill emphasizes that too. That's one of those fundamentals. Make sure you're backing up throws. No balls and a strike. Pitch on the way is a fastball outside. So the count even at 1-1. Rich at second, bunted his way aboard. Parker drew the walk. And a pitch from Macedon. This could be two. Camacho will step on third, but he has no other play. Well, he does get the lead runner. That'll go as a 5 unassisted for the second out. Rook advances, and a fielder's choice credited to Keyshawn Herring. Two outs. Runners at first and second for the former Conqueror, Austin, Keelan Washington. Did you get to know Keelan? He's a little bit older than you.
Yes, sir. I knew him, and then Casey Eisenberg.
And the pitch on the way is inside. Now, Levi Sigler is also now an Edward Waters Tiger. He was a pitcher for Coach Gill here at Trinity.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess you didn't really know Levi. Okay.
No, sir.
I think he was here 1 or 2 seasons. Didn't graduate from TCA, transferred away, but very nice young man and a really good pitcher. That one misses down and in. 2 balls, no strikes. Well, Camacho didn't really have much of a shot at a double play. It wasn't hit all that hard. He got the out that he knew he could get. The 2-0 on the way, outside corner for a strike. So Macedon behind in the count, trying to get out of the inning. Keelan was hit by a pitch and erased on a fielder's choice in the first. The 2-1, breaking ball, chopped foul down the right side. So count 2 balls, 2 strikes. As a catcher, what do you call for here with the 2-2?
2-2. I'd probably go for a changeup if he has one. If not, then I would go for another curveball.
Well, that was a fastball, and Washington put a good rip on it. Foul tip. Burnside unable to hold on, and a lot of people think that's an easy play on a foul tip. I bet you could say it's pretty much luck to hold on to that ball.
It really is.
Major league catchers have said that too. You either catch it or you don't. There's really no trying to. Either sticks in the mitt or it doesn't. Unfortunately, that time it didn't, and Washington gets another opportunity. He was out in front of the off speed. Let's see what Macedon comes back with after that fastball is fouled off. And the pitch just missed outside. Macedon wanted that call. He took a long, hard look in at the umpire. So the payoff pitch with 2 outs, the runners will be on the move. There they go. Curveball misses up high, and that is ball 4, and that one definitely missed the strike zone.
Yes.
Second walk of the inning. That loads up the bases. It puts Herring at second, Rook at third. 2 runs are in. And Wyatt Reed, the number 3 man at the plate, reached on a fielder's choice and was left stranded at first, his first time up. Tigers threatening, but there are 2 outs. Macedon will work from the stretch with the bases loaded and gets the first pitch curveball for a strike. Good take by Reed there. RBI opportunity early in the count. You want a pitch you can hit.
Yes, sir.
Big gap in right center field. Ryan Brooks shading him over toward the line. Lopez is right behind the bag, and a swing and a foul tip. That one hit the dirt, but it's no balls, 2 strikes. If it were me, I'd be calling for him to slow it down a little more.
Yes.
Now Macedon will wind it up. That'll give the runners a couple of extra steps. But the 0-2, that one hit off the bat and is going to dribble foul. Cavedo looked like he wanted to see if the ball would turn fair and get the easy force out. For a moment, I couldn't tell if it hit the bat or if it might have hit off Reed. But when I saw Reed hustling, then I knew it hit the bat. Another lesson for you, Austin. You make the play, you let the umpire do the call.
Yes, sir.
All right, no balls, 2 strikes. Macedon ahead in the count. See if he goes to that off speed. It's been pretty good so far. Here is the pitch. There it is. Long drive towards left field. Draper runs it down and makes the catch. Well, Reed hit that ball right on the button, but Draper, with his speed, is able to track it down, and that ends a threat. 2 runs score on the blow from Joseph Eischen, and we go to the bottom of the second. Tigers 2, Eagles 1. Bottom of the second, Eagles trail 2-1. They got on the board first with a run in the bottom of the first. Joseph Eischen hit a 2-run homer for Ed Waters to put the Tigers up 2-1. We were talking with Trinity Christian Academy freshman varsity backup catcher Austin Arosha. He is on his way out, getting ready to enjoy the rest of his 3-day weekend. Glad he was able to stop by, say hello, give us a little insight from a young player as Ryan Brooks leads things off in the bottom of the second. Brooks, Quevedo, Burnsett, and Lopez due up for Coach Copeland. And a pitch on the way, a chopper down the left field line, and that is foul. Brooks came in as a pinch hitter late in game number 1. Ended up drawing a walk, and the pitch is downstairs, then caught stealing a little bit later in that inning. Casey Eisenberg picked a runner off and then caught Brooks trying to steal, both of those in the 6th inning. The 1-1 on the way. This fastball misses inside. Ryan Brooks digs in, University Christian graduate. The 2-1 on the way, and a swing and a miss, and he pulled off that one, and count is now even at 2-2. These two teams are going to meet again right at the end of the season. Tell you about that in a moment. High fly ball towards right. Washington takes a few steps back and makes the play. Brooks hit the ball well, but that is out number 1. The final weekend of the season, and I believe that's for both these teams, April 26th will be here at Trinity Ball Yard. That game will begin at 7 p.m. and we will have it on YouTube and on our radio station 91.7 FM. And then the Saturday afternoon doubleheader on April 27th at Ed Waters Ballpark, J.P. Small Memorial Park in downtown Jacksonville. That is so both coaches, Coach Johnson and Coach Copeland, can have senior day and senior night in the final weekend of the season. Fastball to David Quevedo, gets the corner for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Quevedo, bases empty, 1 out. Came up as a pinch hitter in game 1, and a breaking ball misses up high. 0 for 1 as he popped up to the shortstop. First at-bat of the nightcap, ahead in the count 2-1, and a pitch from Flores, a good swing by DQ, and he fouled it straight back. Flores walked 1 man in that first, gave up a hit. The stolen base by Draper after his base hit opened the inning, came around to score on a ground ball from Sanchez. Quevedo got the bat on the ball and stayed alive. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Flores, a junior, on the mound, 2-2, and this breaking ball Looked like he himself was out in front of it, and it sailed away from the hitter. So a payoff pitch coming to DQ. 3-2 on the way. Line drive, base hit into right. And again, the Eagles have a runner aboard. A one-out single from Quevedo. Second one the Eagles have so far. And here is catcher Daniel Burnsett. Did not play in game one. Didn't see any action at J.P. Small yesterday, so his first at-bat of this three-game series, and he has a runner at first with one man out. Burnsett digs in. Flores is ready. And the pitch on the way, a fastball that misses outside. Burnsett is 1 for 15 on the season. Looking to start a personal rally. Has a big gap in right center. Washington over near the line. And the pitch on the way. Popped up and right over my head. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Daniel Burnsett, a sophomore from Middleburg High School in Middleburg, Florida. Really not too far away from Trinity Christian. Just 1 county south of Duval, Clay County. 1 ball, 1 strike. The throw to first. Quevedo didn't have that big of a lead. He dives back in safely. Each pitcher, Jacob Burr for the Eagles, Manuel Guerra for the Tigers, picked a runner off in game number 1. Quevedo gets an extra step this time. 1-1 on the way, and Burnsett is hit by the pitch. Eagles have 2 runners aboard with 1 man out. Quevedo advances into scoring position. And it brings up the center fielder, Brian Lopez. We've already told you a couple of times what Lopez did to end game number 1. Don't want to jinx him now. He's up there. He's a senior, so he knows not to let that take too much precedence. Courtesy runner for the catcher will be number 3, Jordan Broden. Broden, as he usually does, running for the catcher very fast, and he's going to get a couple of extra steps on his lead because Frankie is playing not just in front of the bag, but well off the line. So a ball in the gap should score 2. Lopez is ready, but the throw to second, and the runner is back. Washington not quite as far over to the line as he was a little while ago, so the outfield much more straight away. Middle infield playing back for 2, Frankie and Rich, even with the bag and well off the line on each side of the infield. Flores with the pitch. This one is upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Wind has shifted. It's now blowing out and kind of favoring just a little bit towards right center. So it would help a left-handed hitter more, or a ball hit the other way from a righty. Here's the 1-0 on the way, and this one is down. Of course, the shot that Eischen hit, didn't matter which direction the wind was blowing or how hard. He got every bit of it and put it into the woods. It's about 25 feet between the fence and the woods back there. I think that ball landed in between a couple of trees. 2 balls, no strikes, and the pitch in the dirt, and a good block by Rook to keep the runners at bay. So Lopez ahead 3-0. He's either taking all the way or he has exactly 1 pitch in 1 spot in mind. Flores takes his time, looks back at second, now the 3-0, and he was taking all the way. So 3-1, Lopez still ahead. Again, it's not a guarantee swing if it's not a pitch he likes. Good speed on the bases. Quevedo at second, Broden at first. The 3-1. Line drive foul to the right side and out of play. Good contact, but a little bit behind that fastball by Flores. Flores making his third appearance, first start. Has allowed 1 run so far. It is earned. Trying to get out of this jam in the bottom of the second. 2 on, 1 out, and the payoff pitch. Ground ball could be 2. Fielded at second, and everybody's going to be safe as the ball comes out of the glove of Marcus Judd. Instead of flipping to the shortstop, Judd tried to take it himself and lost the ball. A huge break for the Eagles. That is an error all the way. It allows Quevedo into third and Broden into second. Bases are loaded, 1 out. Top of the order, Christian Draper at the plate. And as we were telling Austin earlier, here's a situation you don't want to try to do too much. Just make some contact and get home at least 1 of these runs. The door has been open. Let's see if the Eagles can push it through. As we saw earlier today, second base just doesn't want to stay put. Quevedo at third. He singled. Broden at second. He's the courtesy runner for Burnstead, who was hit by a pitch. Lopez at first, reached on an error. 1 out. And even that out was hit pretty well by Ryan Brooks. Eagles with a good opportunity. Flores delivers. Check swing, and Draper held up in time at a ball downstairs. Parker Rook asks for the appeal anyway, but it is 1 ball, no strike. Batter doesn't get a chance to appeal. It's either the pitcher, the catcher, or the umpire. Batter has no say at all in the matter. 1 ball, no strikes, and the pitch. High fly ball. Quevedo will not tag as it's right behind the infield, and the infield fly rule was on as Herring, even though he was in the dirt, or in the grass rather, the rule is if the infielder has a good opportunity to make the play, it is an automatic out. So Draper does not get the run home. 2 outs, Michael Camacho at the plate. This would be a big thing for Flores to get out of this inning after the error opened the door. Eagles trying to steal some of that momentum. Camacho grounded to second in the first. That did advance a runner to third, however, and the runner ended up scoring. Good swing by the Eagles' third baseman, and he fouled it off the mask of Parker Rook. And Rook still sitting down, and the umpire is going to head out to the mound and give Rook a chance to regroup. That ball hit him flush, and here comes Coach Johnson to catch it, check up on his catcher. Eagles got a run in the first. Tigers came back with 2 in the second and threatened to do a lot more damage, but Christian Draper ran down a well-hit drive toward the left field line off the bat of Wyatt Reed. That ended the inning, and the Tigers left the bases loaded after getting 2 runs. Now it is the Tigers trying to leave the Eagles with the bases loaded. Rook is going to get a chance to make sure he can see the ball well enough. Again, that ball hit him right flush in the face mask. Looks like he'll be just fine. KC Eisenberg caught all 7 innings in the opener, but I know KC well enough to tell you if he's asked to, he'll go 7 more. Of course, it's already the second, but extra innings could make it 7 total for him. All right, Michael Camacho at the plate. No balls and a strike. Chance to at least tie the score. Flores takes a long look in. Nobody holding anybody near a bag. And the 0-1. Line drive, but right at the second baseman, Marcus Judd. And I'm telling you, Camacho could not have hit the ball any harder, but some tough luck, and he lines out to the second baseman, and that retires a sign. Well, the Eagles threaten but leave the bases loaded, and after 2, Ed Waters leads it 2-1. Top of the third, and hitters 4, 5, and 6 due up for Ed Waters, Caden Frankie, Freddie Torres, and Joseph Eischen. Tough luck off the bat of Michael Camacho. He scorched it, but standing right there, not moving even a half step, was second baseman Marcus Judd. After today, the Eagles don't have much time before they play again. Tuesday at Thomas University in Thomasville, Georgia, a doubleheader that begins at 4 p.m., and then next weekend is the opening round of the Russ Matt Invitational when the Eagles play Point Park University for 2. First pitch fastball in there for a strike. Macedon has gone 2 innings. He's allowed 2 runs, both earned, 4 hits. And the pitch, this is going to be a base hit into left. Draper cuts it off, and Frankie will stop at first. Caden Frankie had idea of making a big turn and possibly going for 2, but Draper rounded the ball off very nicely. He knew he had no chance at the catch, and so he did what he could to hold the runner to a first base single. Point Park University, February 23rd at 1:30 p.m. That game is in Winter Haven. That's a doubleheader. High pop-up towards right. There's a new man in right field, and he makes the catch. I believe that is Sammy Coffrin, and yes, it is. So Coffrin in right in place of Ryan Brooks. So Eischer at the plate. A big one pitch out by Macedon. Eischen put that ball into the woods his last time up. A 2-run shot that gave the Tigers a 2-1 lead. Frankie, a modest lead off first. Not too big, not too small. A breaking ball outside to throw down in the dirt, but Quevedo's able to keep it in front of him. Not sure about the reason for the substitution in right. Hopefully Ryan Brooks did not hurt himself. But it is Sammy Coffrin now in position number 9. Breaking ball up and in. 2 balls, no strikes. And Coffrin is playing pretty close to the line, giving a gap in right center. Eagles will host Thomas University on February 26th, Tuesday afternoon doubleheader starting at 4. Pop foul out of play. And then the Russ Matt Invitational resumes on March 1st when Trinity Baptist plays Cornerstone University at 3 p.m. on March 1st. And then again on March 2nd at 12:30. Those will both be single 9-inning games. Line drive towards center. Lopez will field it on the hop. That's a base hit. Hit number 6 for the Tigers. 2 men on, 1 out. Second baseman Marcus Judd had himself a base hit. That came in the 2nd inning. He was erased on a fielder's choice at a little bit later. RBI opportunity for Judd, the man that snared that line drive from Camacho to end the bottom of the 2nd. And the pitch is fastball that misses low and outside. March 2nd, the Eagles will also play Grace College after they finish with Cornerstone. And then on March 5th, the Russ Matt Invitational comes to an end when the Eagles play Judson University. And all those games will be in Auburndale, Florida. The March 1st game in Kissimmee. There's a strike call on a nice pitch, well located from Macedon. TBCEagles.com has all the Trinity Baptist College athletics information. For Edward Waters, it is EWCTigerPride.com. Curved ball that misses upstairs. 2 balls and a strike. Sweeney is trying to keep the runner at second close. That is Caden Frankie. He will bounce his way back into position, but that leaves an opening on the right side. Here's the pitch, swing, and a chop foul. Looked like Judd was trying to go that way and take advantage of the gap on the infield. So 2-2. Macedon could get a ground ball. He could get out of this with a double play. And a pitch on the way. This one is lifted into center field. Lopez had to come in as the wind knocked it down. It shifted once again, blowing in. But the speedy Lopez able to track it down, and that's out number 2. The wind's been moving in different directions throughout the day. Started off blowing much harder than it is now. In from right. It's shifted out towards left. It's then blown in from center. Then out towards right, and it can't seem to make up its mind. Tyler Rich at third. A bunt base hit his last time up. And a pitch on the way. A wild pitch is going to allow both runners to advance. Frankie to third. And Eischen into second. So Tyler Rich now ahead in the count. Bunted down the first baseline in the second, but on that play, Judd tried to go first to third, and Macadon threw a perfect strike and cut him down. Macadon tried to make the tag over near first base and then recovered, threw a bullet, and then ended up getting out of the inning without any further damage. A ball and a strike. First base is open. Macadon will wind up with runners at second and third. 1-1 in the dirt, this time blocked by Burnside, and everybody holds. Tigers are home against Warner University for a Friday-Saturday 3-game series. 1 game Friday night at 6, doubleheader Saturday at noon. The 2-1. Just a bit outside. Got to say that at least once a game. Now again, first base is open. A walk is not the worst thing. Don't want to lay one in there too nice for Tyler Rich. 3-1 on the way. Swing and a miss. That ball dipped out of sight. And the count is full. Great pitch by Macadon. March 1st, Ed Waters will host Florida National, whom the Eagles played to open up the season with. That is a doubleheader beginning at 1. March 3rd, home for 2 against Talladega College. And that one's in the dirt. That's going to let another run score. Ball 4. And runners now at the corners. Rich draws the walk. And the second wild pitch of that particular at-bat allows Caden Frankie to cross the plate with the third Tigers run. Eischen also advances to third. Parker Rook is the scheduled hitter, but instead, Tigers are going to send up a pinch hitter. Colin Langdale, a freshman from Terry Parker High School here in Jacksonville, has an opportunity to drive home another. So Colin Langdale up there with runners at the corners. Macadon will work from the stretch, and the first pitch, a good cut by Langdale. Fouls it straight back. First time we've seen Langdale in this series. No hits in 2 at-bats so far this season. The 0-1 on the way and just misses outside. Ball and a strike. 1 run is in. Runners at the corners. Macadon delivers. And again, he's not getting the corners at all. Another hard look in at the home plate ump. A much different strike zone than we saw both pitchers in Game 1 get. This is a very tight strike zone. 2 balls and a strike. And the pitch, well hit toward the gap. Lopez will not get to it. That could score 2. Eischen scores. Here's Rich around third. The throw to the plate, not in time. That is a 2-run double for Colin Langdale. So the Tigers lead it now 5-1, a 3-run third inning, and they have runner at second base for Keyshawn Herring, who is 1 for 2, a base hit and a fielder's choice, and now we have a runner for Longdale. Trying to see who that gentleman is out there at second base. Longdale hit that ball very well, and it just kept hooking away from Lopez. Still trying to see who the pinch runner is out at second base, and now Coach Johnson will talk with the umpire. Pinch runner is Emil Perez, wearing number 14, but he's going to come back, and Langdale will go back to second base. Not sure the reason for the switch back, but Langdale got the 2-run double. He's now standing at second base. So Perez officially not in the ball game. Keyshawn Herring, 1 for 2, a base hit in the first, a fielder's choice in the second. Now Parker Rook took that ball off the face mask. Longdale batted for Rook, and let's hope Rook is all right, and this wasn't any kind of an injury causing the pinch hit to occur. But it worked out in the Tigers' favor as Longdale laced a 2-run double. Rich came all the way around from first. Eishen scored. He was standing on third at the time, and this one in the dirt, and that's going to be the third wild pitch of the inning for Nick McAdon. So runner at third now, 2 outs. 1 ball, no strikes. McAdon will wind. And the pitch got the inside corner for a strike. Now, there are a couple of pitches to Rich that McAdon did not get. He wasn't happy with it. Rich drew the walk, and Longdale came to the plate. He gets the call that time. It's 1-2. Eagles will have the heart of the batting order coming up. 3, 4, and 5. Sanchez, Albritton, and Sweeney. 1-2 on the way, swing and a miss, a foul tip into the mitt. Burnside holds on, and that retires a side. 3 runs, 1, 2, 3 hits, and a man left, and we go to the bottom of the 4th. Ed Waters 5, Trinity Baptist 1. Bottom of the 3rd. Tigers got 3 in the top half. For a moment I thought Casey Eisenberg was coming back. He was fully dressed, so he's just warming up the pitcher. So Colin Longdale will stay in the game as the catcher after he pinch hit and drove in 2 with a double. So now, pretty sure we saw number 14, Emil Perez, go out there. Well, Longdale was not officially the catcher at the moment, so the courtesy runner rule not in effect, and that's most likely the reason Longdale went back onto the base. But he drove in 2, and now he's behind the plate. And a first pitch strike to the shortstop, Carlos Sanchez. Julio Flores, 2 innings, 1 run so far, and a swing and a miss makes it 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Well hit toward the gap. That's another one that's going to be tracked down in right center by Freddie Torres for out number 1. Caleb Albritton drew a walk his first time up, was left stuck at first base. Base is empty, 1 out, and the pitch is inside for ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes. And a pitch on the way. Chopper right back to the box. Flores will do the easy flip to first. 2 up, 2 down. So the Eagles get the first 2 men out and send up Jaron Sweeney. He flew out pretty well hit ball to the right fielder Keelan Washington to end the first. Flores with a 4-run lead, winds up and a chopper towards short. That is Herring. He fields, throw is in the dirt, but Frankie scoops, reaches behind himself, and takes the play. And the Eagles go down in order in the bottom half of the 3rd. Tigers lead it 5-1. We go to the 4th. Logan Sizemore now on the mound for Trinity Baptist College. Nick Macadon goes 3 innings, allows 5 runs, 4 of them earned. Allowed 6 hits. He walked 3 and did not strike out a batter. So Sizemore in relief of Macadon will have 2, 3, and 4 to deal with. Washington, Reed, and Frankie. Tigers got 2 in the 2nd, 3 in the 3rd. Eagles started the scoring with a run in the bottom of the 1st. That's your scoring summary. Trinity Baptist won the opener 3-1 on the walk-off 2-run shot from Brian Lopez. So Washington leading off in the fourth, and the first pitch is swung on and tapped foul. March 5th, the Tigers will host the University of South Carolina Beaufort for 2. And then on March 9th, a doubleheader against Morris College before the Tigers hit the road again in mid-March. The 0-1 hits the batter. Washington goes down. It looked like it caught his ankle, but he's wearing the shin guard right down at his ankle, so an ankle guard, and he's on his way to first. That'll bring up Wyatt Reed with a runner at first. Reed has reached on a fielder's choice, and he's the man that drilled one down the left field line to end the second when Kristen Draper tracked it down over near the corner. Now Washington has gone into the dugout. Nobody's standing there yet, but Keelan is coming back. So I guess he's just getting checked on to make sure everything's all right. I know Keelan, he's a tough guy. He does not want to come out of a ball game. He's not going to let a hit by pitch affect him at all. Sizemore from the stretch and a pitch. Strike called on the outside corner. March 15th and 16th, the Tigers are at Toccoa Falls College. That's a big rivalry of Trinity Baptist and the Screaming Eagles of Toccoa Falls. Runner on the move, the pitch downstairs, throw down will be late. So Washington does what he's supposed to do, gets hit by a pitch and turns it into a double. That's a stolen base for Washington, and now he is looking like he's in some kind of pain as the bag comes out once again. And now I heard a call for Coach Reginald Johnson to go out to second base and check on Washington. That is his 4th steal in 5 attempts this season, and now Washington's heading off, and we're going to have a pinch runner apparently. And we're going to see who's coming in if Washington comes out. Now he's holding a towel up to his face, so let's hope Keelan is all right. We're going to pause here, and we'll be back when play is ready to resume on TBC Eagles. So Keelan Washington back at second base. A little bloody nose, but he's all right. They took care of that pretty quickly, and Logan Sizemore will have a runner at second. Nobody out. Wyatt Reed at the plate with a count of 1 ball and 1 strike. Hello to Santiago Boys, Mullet Gaming. Elliot Santiago, it is 5-1. Tigers lead, top of the 4th. Edward Waters College against Trinity Baptist College. This one's chopped foul to the left side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hello, Big Ticket cheering on Logan. Doing some work on the mound for Trinity Baptist College. TBC Eagles on YouTube bringing you the action. I'm Ray Bureau. My son Dean is our cameraman. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch on the way. Long drive down the left field line and foul. Good rip by Reed, but he was out in front. Again, Sweeney holding the runner close. Big gap on the right side of the infield. Sizemore checks the runner, delivers the 1-2, and misses down and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Caden Frankie waiting on deck. Big left-handed hitter. It's the 2-2 pitch. Misses up and away, and that fills up the count. Now, Jacob Burr did another outstanding job earlier today. He did the same against Southern Wesleyan, an NCAA Division II team last weekend. That one misses outside. Puts runners at first and second with nobody out. So a hit batsman and a walk gives the Tigers 2 on, nobody out, and the middle third of the batting order due up next. Frankie, the first baseman. Freddie Torres, the center fielder. Joseph Eischen, the left fielder. The next 3 scheduled hitters. First pitch from Sizemore. This one tails and catches the outside corner. No balls and a strike. Sizemore delivers. High pop-up. Headed toward foul territory. Camacho crosses the line and makes the catch for out number 1. Good pitch by Sizemore. That ball tailed away from the left-handed hitter. Frankie got it off the end of the bat. And Sizemore got the out. 1 out. Runners at first and second. Center fielder Freddie Torres. He reached on an error and scored on Eichen's home run. That was in the second. Then he popped up to the right fielder in the third. That one misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Huge gap in right center. Coffrin shaded toward the line. Lopez right behind the bag. Sizemore steps off. Now ready, here comes the 1-0. High fly ball, he got under it. Lopez and Draper both giving chase. It continues to carry, and that ball's gone. I thought he got under it, but it kept on going. And that's a 3-run homer for center fielder Freddie Torres. Left center field, very similar to the one Brian Lopez hit to end game number 1. That ball just kept on carrying, so it was hit a lot better than I thought it was. That's a 3-run shot, and it's 8-1. So Freddie Torres, who drove in 5 runs yesterday, just got his 3rd home run of the season. 18 RBIs now this year for Torres. There's another one lifted and drilled towards left, and that one is a no-doubter. That's a second of the game for Eischen, and that one looked like a replay of the one he hit in the 2nd inning. (9-1) now in favor of Edward Waters. And Joseph Eischen having himself a terrific game number 2. Couple of home runs and a single, and he has scored 3 times. Eischen now with 3 homers on the season. 9 RBIs. Bases empty, 1 out, and a first pitch fastball is a strike to Marcus Judd. He's 1 for 2, a base hit, and a pop-up to the center fielder. This pitch catches the inside corner. No balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Judd out in front. The ball hit the dirt, but Burnsett applies the tag. So a strikeout and a catcher unassisted. 2 down, bases empty for the third baseman, Tyler Rich. Tyler Rich is 1 for 1, a base hit, a walk, and a run scored. This one misses inside. Three-run shot from Torres, then Eischen follows with a solo shot of his own. 4 runs in, second homer of the game for Joseph Eischen. That one missed, 2 balls, no strikes. This one's chopped right back toward the box, but a hit off the foot of Rich. That's a foul ball. 2 balls and a strike. Rich ready. Still ahead in the count, 2-1. Sizemore from the stretch and a slow curve. Catches the plate to even up the count. Well, the hit batsman and the walk have both scored. Those led off the inning, and giving a good team that can hit extra base runners not a good idea. That one is pulled foul into the batting cage area. Tigers took advantage and have a 9-1 lead. Tyler Rich 1 for 1, 0 for 2 in the opener. Sizemore delivers, and a chopper towards third. Camacho will charge, scoop, throw to first is in time. A great stretch by DQ, and that retires a side. 4 runs, 2 hits, both of those left the yard. 3-run shot from Freddie Torres. We go to bottom of the 4th. It's an 8-run lead for the Tigers. Bottom of the 4th, Coffrin, Cavedo, and Burnsett are due up. A big 4-run inning in the top half opened up a 9-1 lead for Edward Waters College. Eagles trying to rally from behind. Flores has gone 3 innings, 1 run, it was earned, 2 hits, and a walk. No strikeouts, and his first pitch to Coffrin is upstairs for ball 1. So Coffrin trying to start a rally. Here's the 1-0, and this one's slapped foul. Eagles loaded up the bases in the second with one out, but were unable to push across another run after they scored one in the first. 1 ball, 1 strike. Flores delivers. It's in the dirt. So 2 balls and a strike. Flores takes a long look in and the pitch. And Coffrin's able to duck out of the way. So it's 3-1. Coffrin taking a strike on the outside corner. Payoff pitch on the way. Coffrin flew out to right his first trip to the plate, and he draws a walk to open the 4th. Good start to the inning. Let's hope the Eagles can turn that into a couple of runs. David Quevedo had a base hit in the second, his only trip to the plate in Game 2. 1 for 2 overall on the day. Now a conference on the mound. Flores has looked pretty good so far, but just led off the inning with a walk, and looks like everything's all right. Chris Rowell just want to make sure Flores settles in. He's done a really nice job. Runner at first, nobody out. David Quevedo, the Eagles' first baseman, ready to step in. Coffrin aboard. Not taking too many chances. A modest lead off first. Flores from the stretch and a pitch on the way. He misses upstairs. Nobody throwing in either bullpen at the moment. Quevedo took the first pitch high. He's up 1-0. Big gap in right center. And a pitch on the way, swing and a miss. Looks like he pulled off that one. So the count even at 1-1. And Flores is ready again. A long look in from the stretch and the pitch on the way. A high fly ball. Pretty well hit. But it's going to be tracked down in center field by Torres, and that's the first out. I was hoping that one had the same kind of action that Torres' 3-run shot had. I didn't think he got all of that ball, but it kept on going and fooled me. That turned into a 3-run homer for Torres. He was able to get underneath that one. Burnside at the plate, hit by a pitch his first time up. Runner on the move. Line drive down the right field line, but that's slicing foul. Good idea, good execution, but a little bit of slice on that one, and it didn't miss by much, but it did miss. Keelan Washington was off the line on that play. And again, second base, as it's done all afternoon, not cooperating with us very much. Tigers lead at 9-1, a 2-run second, a 3-run third, and a 4-run fourth. Well, let's hope that trend doesn't continue. Eagles got their run in the bottom of the first. Draper led off with a base hit, stole the base, then 2 grounders to second, advanced him to third, and then brought him home. No balls and a strike once we resume play. And let's hope the bag stays put from here on out. First game went very quickly, under 2 hours. Second game, pace has slowed down some, but it's a beautiful Saturday afternoon out here at 800 Hammond Boulevard. Trinity Baptist Church the home of both Trinity Baptist College and Trinity Christian Academy. No balls and a strike. Flores from the stretch, and the pitch on the way. A little bit high and tight, and it evens the count at 1-1. Coffin was off on the move just a little bit ago while Burnstead was at bat. There he goes again. Foul tip into the mitt. The throw down to second. Gets away from Judd. Coffin had it beaten anyway. That's a stolen base, and Coffin now still on the ground. And the bag comes out again, and Coffin was holding on to the bag to make sure he didn't do anything to have him considered off the base. So a smart move by Sammy Coffin. That's stolen base number 2 in 4 attempts for Coffin. So the Eagles now have a runner at second with 1 out. And the clouds have covered up the sun, cooling us off a little bit. Temperatures are still above 70 degrees. A little more housekeeping duty going on out there at second base. Eagles softball is also playing this afternoon down in St. Augustine. The Old Oak Classic. Trinity Baptist playing Flagler College and Coker College today. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Everybody's ready, and so is the second base bag. That bag has gotten a lot of airtime this afternoon. Burnstead steps out. Flores wants a new sign. Flores ready. Burnstead digs in. Here comes the 1-2. Breaking ball. Caught the inside corner. Burnstead didn't like it. The ball hit the ground. Langdale will end up throwing to first. So a strikeout and 2-3 on the putout. 2 outs. Coffin holds at second. Brian Lopez steps in. He's 0 for 1. He reached on an error in the second inning. That error opened a door and gave the Eagles bases loaded with 1 out. Flores got out of it, however, with a pop-up and a very well-hit line drive that was caught. I mean, Camacho hit the daylights out of that ball, but right at the second baseman, Judd. First pitch to Lopez in the dirt, blocked by Longdale. So 1 ball, no strikes. Flores is taking his time here in the bottom of the 4th. Coffin has a big lead off second. Now the pitch. Well hit towards right, but Washington takes 4 steps to his right, and he's camped under it to retire the side. Lopez has gotten some good wood on the ball all afternoon in both games. That time, however, a line drive to the right fielder to end the inning, and after 4, Ed Waters leads it 9-1. Ben Van Sickle is the new Eagle on the mound as we start the fifth. He will face 9-1-2 Colin Longdale, Keyshawn Herring, and Keelan Washington. Longdale came in as a pinch hitter in the top of the third and drilled a 2-run double. He took over for Parker Rook, who started game 2. Rook took a foul ball off the face mask. He finished that half inning, and then Longdale batted for him when the Tigers came up in the third. So again, let's hope Parker Rook is all right and nothing serious or long term. First pitch misses down low for ball 1. And Sickle from the stretch and a high pop up over near the dugout. Camacho is there for the out. So Van Sickle gets his first man. And top of the order, Keyshawn Herring at the plate. First pitch, one hopper towards short. Sanchez fields, sets, throws on the button, and that is out number 2. So 3 pitches, 2 outs. Nice job by Ben Van Sickle to start the fifth. Ben is making his 5th appearance on the mound. Got the first 2 men he faced. He's allowed 7 runs in 5 1/3. Here is the pitch. It is downstairs for ball 1. Keelan Washington has no official at-bat in 3 plate appearances. He was hit twice. He has walked once. He's also scored a run. And the pitch is inside, and for a moment I thought it might have grazed the jersey, but it didn't. Washington was hit by a pitch to lead off the 4th. He stole a base and scored on the Torres 3-run bomb. 1 ball, no strikes, and the pitch. Fastball on the outside corner. Count even at 1-1. Sizemore goes 1 inning, allows 4 runs, all earned. He walked 2 and allowed 2 hits. This one is fouled off to the left side. Van Sickle ahead 1-2. More action in the Eagles bullpen as the righty delivers a breaking ball that went around the plate, evens up at 2-2. There's also action in the Tigers bullpen. Can't see who either pitcher is from this vantage point, however. Here's the 2-2. Chopper towards second. Sweeney will pick it off, turn and throw, and get the out at first. Jaron Sweeney with a Gold Glove type of play to end the inning, and getting Washington on that play is not easy to do. So 1-2-3, great inning for Ben Van Sickle. Eagles, though, need to rally as they come to bat in the bottom of the 5th, trailing 9-1. Julio Flores has gone 4 innings of 1-run ball. That was an earned run in the first. He has allowed only 2 hits, walking 1, and striking out 1 as well. He will have the top of the order. Christian Draper, Michael Camacho, and Carlos Sanchez due to lead off in the bottom half of the 5th. The Eagles reliever was Caleb Albritton. He is scheduled to hit 4th this inning, should he get the opportunity to do so. He is still throwing in the bullpen, however. But as his spot to at least come on deck approaches, Albritton should come out, unless Coach Copeland has something different in mind. Flores has looked pretty good. He's also had some very solid defense behind him. The Eagles have hit the ball well, only 1 strikeout. They've made solid contact, but that's been the story for the Eagles throughout most of this early part of the season. Hard hit balls caught. Fortunately, Brian Lopez's was not caught in the 7th inning of Game 1 here today. Draper leading off, single, a stolen base, and a run scored in 2 trips to the plate. 1 for 2 overall. Flores will work from the stretch. And first pitch of the inning is hit hard towards third. Rich knocks it down, stays with it, picks it up, and gets the out at first. Another hard hit ball, but right at a Tiger infielder. Michael Camacho has hit the ball hard both times up, both times to the second baseman, and nothing to show for it. It was his line drive with the bases loaded in the second that went right at Judd, who didn't even move 1 step. That ended the threat the Eagles had going. Bases empty, 1 out, first pitch. This one chopped foul. So no balls and a strike. Camacho also hit the ball hard a couple of times in Game 1 and laid down a really nice sacrifice bunt as well. No hits on the day, but good solid contact. No balls and a strike, and the pitch on the way. High pop-up. Judd is right there for out number 2. Well, there's a new pitcher on the mound that I did not notice. So we're going to see who this gentleman is. Number 16, Kamau Richardson. So Flores went 4 innings, and Richardson is the new man who just got the first 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. 2 outs, bases empty. Carlos Sanchez swings and foul tips the first pitch. Well, Flores did his job, and in 7-inning ball games, that's enough to qualify for the win. 4 innings, 1 earned run. And a pitch on the way. Hot shot right at Rich, and once again the Eagles hit the ball hard twice and come away with absolutely nothing. Tyler Rich has played Gold Glove style third base this afternoon, and he does that every time we see him. After 5, Ed Waters 9, Trinity Baptist 1. Top of the 6th, Tigers lead at 9-1. A few changes on the field for the Eagles. The new pitcher, number 33, left-hander Caleb Albritton. Ben Van Sickle goes 1 perfect inning in relief. Also playing right field, wearing number 9, Christian Amlong. Sammy Coffrin moves over to center. Brian Lopez has come out of the game. So Amlong is in the number 9 hole in place of Brian Lopez. And he is playing right. One more change I'll tell you about in a moment. First pitch fastball for a strike from Albritton. Now playing short, wearing number 11, Mark Rogers. He's in the number 3 hole in place of Carlos Sanchez. The 0-1 on the way, swing and a miss. So if I have that correctly, it is Draper, Camacho, Rogers, Albritton, Sweeney, Coffrin, Cavedo, Burnset, and Amlong. The batting order now for Coach John Copeland. Here's the 0-2 from Albritton, and this one misses low and inside. So Caleb Albritton, the 4th pitcher here in game number 2, making his 7th appearance. He has gone a total of 3 innings. He has allowed 4 runs, all of them earned. And he has a count of 1 ball, 2 strikes on Wyatt Reed, who is 0 for 1, but a walk and a run scored. 1-2 on the way, a fastball that stays up. Albritton wanted the call. It was close, but it was up and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitchers haven't gotten the same strike zone that the starters in game 1 got. This has been a much tighter strike zone with the umpire switching in game 2. That breaking ball hit the dirt, so it's a full count. Leadoff hitter of the inning, number 3 man overall, Wyatt Reed, the DH. Payoff pitch, swing and a miss, and Reed chased one well outside, and that is out number 1. That ball tailed away from him. Once he started to commit, all he could try to do was hope to foul it off, and Albritton got the strikeout. So Albritton fans, the first man he faces, here's the first baseman, Caden Frankie. He is 1 for 3, singled and scored in the 3rd. Started to go after that one outside, but held up. 1 ball, no strikes. Lopez is now in the bullpen warming up. So that's the reason he came out of center field. Here's the 1-0, and this one is fouled off the left side. And Lopez tried to make the catch over there in the bullpen, but couldn't get to it in time. The mound is hidden, but Lopez came off the mound and allowed me to see just who's throwing in the bullpen. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, and a pitch on the way. A fastball. No, he didn't get the call. 2 balls and a strike. And this one is fouled off. Two and 2. Tigers trying to gain a split in this doubleheader. They're leading by 8 as we speak. This one in the dirt, and that fills up the count. Trinity won the first game 3-1. 2 terrific performances by the starting pitchers. Jacob Burr of the Eagles and Manuel Guerra of the Tigers both went the complete game. Jacob Burr the winner. Payoff pitch and a line drive. Fair ball down the left side. That could be extra bases. Frankie rounds first. He's going for 2. Draper with a good throw into second, but not in time. That's a 1-out double for Caden Frankie. Right down the line. It was clearly fair, but not by a whole lot. And the Tigers have a runner at second with 1 out. Freddie Torres, a center fielder, went deep his last time up, a 3-run homer. That one went right into the power alley, about 370 where he hit it. And he takes a strike on the inside corner. somewhere near that light tower you might see on your screen out in left center. And the 0-1 on the way is in the dirt, blocked by Burnshead. Frankie got a huge secondary lead and had thoughts of taking third, but Burnshead not only loves to throw, but he's very good at it. So Frankie put on the brakes, went back to second. Casey Eisenberg threw 2 out in game number 1, caught 2 Eagles off the bases. The 1-1 on the way, and this one is inside. 2 balls and a strike, and Al Britton, just like a few other pitchers have done today, looks in hard at the home plate umpire. So the 2-1 on the way and still does not get the call. Josh Jackson has made it to the ball yard. Voice of the Edward Waters Tigers. We're going to hook him up in just a second. One of the SIDs at Ed Waters. You're doing a whole lot of work getting ready for these basketball tournaments as this one's fouled off. Josh, how you doing?
I'm hanging in there. It's been busy, of course, as you said, been a busy few days. About to host the conference tournament here in the next few days, or next few weeks, I should say.
I guess I can turn off your message that we've been doing back and forth now that you're here.
Exactly. So.
All right. After this pitch, tell us a little more about the men's basketball tournament coming up at Ed Waters. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Al Britton checks the runner. Runner's on the move. Frankie taking third to throw down. And it gets away from Camacho, and that's going to allow Frankie to score. It was also ball 4, so Freddie Torres draws the walk. And the Tigers lead it now 10-1. Well, Josh, at least we got you in game 1.
Yeah, I unfortunately had the, I should say, misfortune of watching the walk-off home run and at the office, but you know, it's always tough playing against Trinity Baptist. You know, Coach Copeland has done such a great job at really building this program from scratch.
This team is almost all freshmen this year.
Yeah, it's just amazing what he's done, and we know every time we come over here and play Trinity Baptist, it's going to be a dogfight. So surprising to see up 10-1 in the second game, but I knew the guys will respond after that tough result in that first game.
Well, you were starting to talk about the basketball tournament. You guys are hosting it this year. I can tell you personally, we hosted a lot of tournaments last year. That's a lot of work.
It is. It absolutely is. It's the 37th Annual Gulf Coast Athletic Conference Basketball Championships. Will take place on March 1st to the 3rd over at Edward Waters College. We have 2 gyms now. So
hot shot and foul down the left field line.
Yeah, we're playing at the Adams-Jenkins Community Sports and Music Complex, which is our main gym, and we also acquired the old James Weldon Johnson Middle School a few years ago. So we have the James.
No, that I didn't know about.
As well. So, yeah, so we're excited about it.
So is that how you're able to host both the men and the women?
Yeah. We're actually we are very excited about what's going on there at the school, and things just continue to grow and get better as the days go on.
Runner at first. 1 out. Al Britton from the stretch delivers a chopper foul down the left side. So what seed are you in your tournament?
Presently, right now, the men's team is the 6th seed right now. I've got a chance to move up into that 4-5 spot. The women's seed right now is holding on. The women's team is holding on to that 5 spot right now.
I remember when your ladies came over here and put 100 points on the board. Our Eagles, they played really well until that 4th quarter when your girls just blew us away.
Yeah.
Line drive, base hit, and headed toward the gap. Torres will round first. Coffrin cuts it off. Torres is still going around third, and he is going to score on the RBI double from Joseph Eischen, who, Josh, right now I'm going to name Game 2's player of the game. Have you heard what he has done so far?
I have not.
Well, let me go ahead and tell you, that's not only his 4th RBI, he's hit 2 balls into the woods out there in left center.
Wow. We know
both of them, no doubt, are line drives.
We know Joe has got definitely a lot of stroke on him, and he hit a shot last week against Bruton Parker in our 3-game sweep last week at home against the Bruins. So he is just such a phenomenal find that Coach Johnson and the staff went out and found. He's found a home there as our starting left fielder and has really done well at the plate as well.
Well, Jacob Burr held him in check in game 1. Jacob was absolutely brilliant. So was Manuel Guerra for your team. Eischen hit the ball hard a couple of times. A fly out to center, hit into a double play, which really helped us out in the 7th inning. Then we came up with the home run. Called out on strikes, but in game 2, I think he wasn't happy about the game 1 result. He's taking it upon himself. That's the 4th run he's driven in. 2-run homer in the second, a base hit, and a run scored in the third, and a solo shot as he and Torres went back-to-back in the third.
Yeah, these games are very, very important for Edward Waters because these next couple of games for the Tigers are not going to be easy. Taking on Warner here next weekend in a 2-game set, and also getting set to host Florida National, which is an up-and-coming team, March 1st. And then we've got our rival in Talladega, who won the conference last year, coming to Jacksonville on March the 3rd for a doubleheader. So these next few weeks are not going to be tough. So they've got to find a way to get some things in order here for this tough stretch.
Yeah, Warner has that double affiliation, NAIA and NCCAA. They went to the national final and lost that game last year in the NCCAA tournament. And we hosted that tournament last year, so I was able to see just how good of a ball club that Warner team is. Marcus Judd at the plate. Albritton still on the mound after the conference. Eischen at second. He just drove in a run with a double. 1 man out. Judd has a single in 3 trips to the plate. First pitch from Albritton, hit high towards center. Coffrin fading back, now has to drift back a little more, makes the catch, a runner tagging. He will make it easily into third. Throw is off the mark. Well hit ball. Now, Eagles have been doing that all day, hitting the ball like that only to have it caught.
Yeah, I know Edward Waters is a very tough defensive team. They've been in just about every game that Coach Johnson has coached. So I knew that 3-1 results earlier. You know, you said that double play in the top of the 7th that really hurt Edward Waters, and Trinity Baptist took advantage of it with their opportunity.
First pitch to Tyler Rich on the outside corner for a strike. I wish this guy, only when you play us, would just leave his glove at home.
Yeah, he's been tremendous at third base. We're definitely going to miss him.
Does your conference offer a Gold Glove award?
We do. Yeah, and he actually won it.
Tell them this guy already won it.
Okay, I will.
Just what he's done here today.
I will let them know. I will absolutely let them know.
All right. Well, we're glad you're able to make it over here for the end of the ball game. I know you're doing a lot of work getting ready for these basketball tournaments. Again, I know personally that's not an easy job when you're hosting tournaments, and you got 2 of them going on at the same time.
Yeah, it's not. I'm definitely burning the midnight oil here as the days as we get closer to tournament play.
Well, good luck to you. As I've told you, and I told Coach Reggie earlier today, except when you play us, I'm a Ed Waters fan of all your sports, especially with guys on the baseball team whom I know personally.
Right.
I've taught Casey Eisenberg. I know Keelan very well, and Levi Sigler is a former TCA Conqueror. Their ball's lifted into left, and Draper is right there. That ball kind of knuckled on him a little bit, but he hung with it and made the catch. 2 more runs for the Tigers as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Back in a moment with the Tigers leading 11-1. Bottom of the 6th, and the Tigers just added 2 more. And I don't know if you heard me say this earlier, Josh, but you got 2 in the second, 3 in the third, 4 in the fourth. And when I noticed that, I said, I sure hope that trend doesn't continue. But you got 2 more in the 6th, and looks like we're going to have a split. Tigers and Eagles. I like the way it's set up, the way we're doing the home and home, and I mentioned this a few times already this season, so both coaches can have senior night on the very last weekend of the season. Caleb Albritton, now the pitcher, at the plate. He has walked and grounded back to the box. Richardson's first pitch inside. I thought it hit the batter, but it hit off the catcher's mitt. Well, with that pole right in front of us, the umpire and the catcher can't always see the plate all that well. Albritton at the plate. Bottom of the 6th. The Eagles need to rally, but they got the first one, as you've heard us talking about. Wind has really calmed down, not blowing at all right now. Kamau Richardson on the mound. Did I say that right? All right, gets the strike. I always want to make sure I pronounce correctly. I've had moms yell at me for mispronouncing. Oh, yeah, I'm sure you've had it too. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the pitch. Of course, your name's pretty easy, Josh.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to miss that. Let's just say Josh or something.
Yeah,
of course,
solid biblical name.
Raymond, Of course, not everybody loves this Raymond. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Nicely done, sir.
And the pitch is popped up down the left side. Rich giving chase. He's there, but it's just over the fence. And if he had another couple of steps, he's going to make that catch.
Yeah, he's just such a tremendous third baseman. A guy who's from this area, out of Middleburg High School, and gave him a little bit of trouble last week. I'm like, you're probably the only Middleburg Bronco I've ever liked. Me being a proud Clay Blue Devil myself.
Oh, yeah, I'm a Clay High graduate too, but I'm a little before you. I'm 1987. You're somewhere in the 90s, I think.
Just a little after 2001.
2001, okay. So I got a few years on you, but we're both Blue Devils.
Absolutely.
Trinity Christian will be at Clay High this year. I'm going to be here that night doing a TBC ball game, however. That's the annual superhero night. For those who don't know, Brady Kinder was 4 years old when he suddenly passed away. I believe that was 4 years ago now, on Mother's Day, and we still don't know what happened. And the Conquerors, that was right in the middle of the playoff run. Tell you more in a moment. This one's chopped foul. Coach Gil Morales and the Conquerors that year, Dean was a freshman on the JV team. They put his name on the roster and gave him number 44 because there was already Conqueror with number 4, and they brought a huge banner down to the state final and ended up winning the state championship and dedicated their trophy to the memory of Brady. That pitch downstairs, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and every year now the Conquerors play the Blue Devils from Clay High, and they'll alternate which ballpark. They were here last year, and we had that game on the radio. And they call it Superhero Night because Brady was a major superhero fan, and the teams will actually wear superhero costume-looking jerseys.
That is awesome.
That pitch is upstairs, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Well, the Conquerors won the state championship, like I said, and dedicated that to Dr. Robert Kinder, who was Brady's grandfather, and his mother is still a teacher here at Trinity Christian, and his father, Robert Kinder Sr., is an officer with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. Payoff pitch on the way, chopped foul down the right side. So if you want more information about the Brady Kinder Foundation, go to Facebook, search Brady Kinder Foundation, and you'll get a lot more information. And it's a great thing, turning tragedy into somehow helping needy kids around the city of Jacksonville. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and a payoff pitch misses up and away, and that's a second walk that Albritton has drawn here in game number 2. First one allowed, or nope, second one allowed by Richardson. Been a long night for me last night and here today too. I'm bound to mess up once in a while. We had that radio show talking about Trinity Christian's baseball season preview last night. A whole lot of fun. The only problem was the power went out at the radio station, so we were off the air for about 25 minutes after we'd gotten the show started. Fortunately, we were able to finish it up. A lot of fun. You know Coach Gill, right?
I do know Coach Gill.
Wonderful gentleman. Wonderful gentleman. There's a strike call right down the middle. This is Jaron Sweeney. He's hit the ball hard twice. A line drive to right and a hard grounder to short. Nothing out of 2. It's been like that for the entire game. The Eagles have hit the ball very well. Runner at first. 1 out, and the pitch on the way. And this one is tipped foul. Now, Albritton's the pitcher, but Coach Copeland decides to keep him on the base pass instead of using a courtesy runner. He started the game as a DH, but now he's on the mound. But I'm guessing because he's actually listed in the batting order as a DH, maybe the courtesy runner is not allowed. And we've seen that a lot where the pitcher will be listed as both pitcher and DH, and the big reason for that is if he comes off the mound, he can still bat. The 0-2 line drive right at Judd. He has a little trouble with it, but he gets the out at first. The throw gets away from Frankie. That could have been a double play. A little trouble with it and a break for the Eagles, and now a runner still standing at second, so okay. Now he's going to head off. For a moment as I was watching the throw to first, thought maybe we got a break that someone was off the bag, but that's an out at second base. So that goes as a fielder's choice. 4-6 on the putout, one away. Sweeney at first, and Sammy Crawford at the plate. He's 0 for 1. He came in the 4th inning in place of Ryan Brooks.
That was a nice job there by Colin Langdale to get down there on that first base line and keep that ball from really getting away from everyone and allowing the runner on first to get 2 seconds. So nice job there by the catcher for EWC.
You always have to hustle down the line too, and Sweeney made sure he hustled and made it a tough relay throw to first.
I think Coach Johnson was talking to the umpires about that slide into second possibly.
And we had a play like that. I don't remember if it was earlier this game or in game 1. Coach Copeland came out to talk about a similar play at second base, hoping to get an interference call. Looks like both coaches are going to lose those arguments, though, and call on the field usually does stand. It's rare when something's overturned like that. And, you know, we ragging up. They're going to miss a call once in a while, but for the most part, they are correct. And on plays like that, or really close plays, umpire's going to get yelled at from somebody no matter what he calls. One out, runner at first. Coffrin at the plate. Big lead by Sweeney. Swing and a miss, and a good changeup by Richardson. Talk about off speed. Jacob Burr for Trinity and Manuel Guerra for Ed Waters in game 1. Both had their changeups and breaking balls very sharp today. No balls and a strike. Another big lead off first by Coffrin, and this one's in the dirt. Throw to first by Longdale, and the runner is back. Have you heard about Parker Rook? He started the game. He took a foul ball off the mask. He finished that half inning, and Longdale came in. I didn't know if you'd gotten any update from Coach Reggie.
Had not gotten anything as of yet. I know Parker was injured last year. Unfortunately, he lost his true freshman year. He's a redshirt freshman from out of the Orlando area, but definitely good to have him back, and we'll see if we can get him healthy for this week's game.
I just hope he's not injured. He finished that half inning while Trinity was still batting. Longdale pinch hit and got a 2-run double. That's good for Longdale, but we just hope Parker's all right. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, runner at first, and a pitch on the way and fouled off, and the count is 1-2.
And these are 3 new catchers to the program for EWC. We talk about Colin Langdale and Parker Rook and Casey Eisenberg, and they've all played very, very well in the early going.
I'm, of course, keeping up with KC. He's a former student of mine, but now a good friend. And I'm glad that he's back. He had Tommy John surgery. Throw to first, and a runner is back. And he was originally at Hillsborough Community College. And I had his father, Chuck, up here during Game 1 to talk about KC and said that conversation with Coach Reggie, who is a terrific man in his own right as well, gave KC a good look and an opportunity, and he worked his way into the starting lineup. There's a breaking ball with the runner going. Throw down to second is in time. And the ball took a hop right into Coffrin. And Judd made a great stab. And the throw took the glove of Judd right into the runner. So that is the out. And I believe that ends the inning because that was a strike 3 call. I was watching the play at second. Didn't realize that was strike 3. But that's a double play to end the inning. So a strike him out, throw him out, 2-4. On the final putout. And we go to the 7th with Ed Waters in control, 11-1. We go to the top of the 7th, and Brian Lopez, who was our hero in game number 1 and played center field for the whole first game and most of this one, came out last inning but now is re-entered. So that means Christian Amlog will be out of the batting order as Lopez has to go back into the same batting position. He's now on the mound in the top of the 7th, and we're going to turn it over to the very illustrious tones of Josh Jackson as he's going to take the top of the 7th. Leading off will be Longdale, followed by Herring and Keelan Washington.
Thanks, Ray. 9-1, 2 hitters due up for Edward Waters. We just talked about Colin Langdale at the plate for Edward Waters. Freshman from right here in Jacksonville, the former Terry Parker Brave at the plate for EWC.
Boy, couldn't ask for better weather this afternoon to be out here.
Beautiful afternoon for college baseball.
Yeah, it's going to get hot out here before long, and hopefully we'll be able to have some cover over these bleachers. But right now, I'm really enjoying this weather.
Absolutely. Langdale, as you mentioned, facing Brian Lopez, just entering the contest here in the top of the 7th. Here's the first offering from Lopez. High and outside, ball 1. To the freshman catcher for Edward Waters. Tigers up 11-1 here in the top of the 7th. 11 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors for Edward Waters. 1, 2, and 2 for Trinity Baptist. Here's the 1-0. Swung and shot at the plate foul. Evens up the count at a ball and a strike.
That double that Longdale hit, if he'd gotten some lift on it, that might have taken off and gotten over that left field fence because he really popped it. It's just a low line drive.
Here's the 1-1 from Lopez. Just outside. Count goes to 2 balls and a strike.
Again, these two teams will meet in the final weekend of the season. Another home-and-home series we'll tell you about in just a moment.
2-1, swung on, chopped up the middle. That will get through the middle for a base hit. Colin Langdale's on board with the leadoff base hit here in the top of the 7th for Edward Waters.
We had a Friday game at your place yesterday and a doubleheader here today. That's going to switch. I believe that is April 26th and 27th, if I remember correctly. I'll just scroll down the page here. Yes, it is. That'll be senior day for both of us. We'll be at JP Small, actually at Trinity. I'm reading your schedule, not ours. At Trinity on the 26th at 7 p.m. because we're going to try to air that on The Truth, and a doubleheader at your place beginning at 1 on Saturday the 27th.
Keyshawn Herring at the plate for Edward Waters, the Tigers shortstop. First pitch from Lopez. Catch to the outside corner, strike 1.
And the reason we moved that to 7 is the contracted programming with Focus on the Family on The Truth cannot preempt that, and people don't want that preempted.
The 0-1 in the dirt. Evens up the count of the ball and a strike.
And we're
Herring, the sophomore from down south in Deerfield Beach.
And we're thankful to all the coaches so far who've allowed us to move those games that were originally scheduled from 6 to 7 just for that purpose.
The 1-1 down and low. Count goes to 2 balls and a strike. Jose Rivera, the courtesy runner for EWC at first for the Tigers. Lopez stares in. Delivers the 2-1. Long hit to the left field line that will go foul, even with the count of 2 balls and a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes, excuse me.
Saw Ramirez a couple of times when KC was catching in game number 1. Saw him as a courtesy runner. I believe he did that yesterday as well.
2 balls and 2 strikes to the Tigers shortstop and Keyshawn Herring. Here's the 2-2. In the dirt. Count goes to 3 balls and 2 strikes. No one out here on the top of the 7th. Tigers leading 11-1.
Herring 1 for 3 so far. Led off the game with a base hit. Grounded out to the shortstop his last time up.
The payoff pitch from Lopez. Swung on and hit down the right field line. Slicing. It will be foul. And Herring stays alive. Count remains at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
David Cavedo now playing right field for the Eagles. Nearly came up with that one. I like the hustle.
Cavedo's a big guy. He's got a lot of hustle out there in right field.
And now playing first base. A new Eagle I'm not quite familiar with yet. I'll have to see who that gentleman is at first base.
The 3-2 to Herring. Swung on. Hit down the left field line. Just foul. And Herring stays alive.
Jalen Licence, a freshman from Westside High School here in Jacksonville, the new Eagles first baseman.
Nice bat a swung on chop foul again from Keyshawn Herring. He's really starting to get into that pitch count here for Brian Lopez.
Mark Rogers still at short. He came in an inning ago in place of Sanchez. So it looks like License is in the batting spot of Caleb Albritton in the number 4 hole.
Throw over to first. Ramirez gets in just in time. Top of the 7th, Tigers leading 11-1. The 3-2 swung on, hit up the middle to center and caught on the line drive.
Sammy Coffrin come in a few steps. That one also kind of knuckled on him, but he stuck with it and got the out.
That'll bring on the former Trinity Christian Conqueror in Keelan, Washington.
He's 0 for 1 officially. He's walked once and been hit twice and scored a run.
Shocking because Keelan knows this field well and remember he had a great series last year in his return to Trinity Baptist.
Yeah, I remember he put one over the right field fence. I think he hit one against us at your place too last year.
He did. First pitch to Washington. Right down Main Street, strike 1.
And I told Coach Gill last night, when Keelan was here, he was much more of a slap hitter, and you know how fast he is, but he's put on a lot of muscle and has made himself a really heavy hitter.
The 0-1. Inside in the dirt. He was at the count of the ball and the strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here, 1 man on for Edward Waters in the top of the 7th inning. The 1-1 from Lopez. Swung on, hit down the left field line. That goes foul. Now goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Tigers trying to go to 7-8 on the season. And look to begin a long stretch of home games here. The next 6 will be at the house for EWC.
And you're not playing any easy competition in those games either.
Swung on and missed, and down goes Washington on strikes, and he is not happy about it.
We're about to go up to Thomas University, and that's one of the better ball clubs around.
Absolutely.
Of course, you had to deal with Southeastern University a few days ago.
It was not a fun time. They're playing the defending national champions in NAIA.
Pretty much in every sport.
Absolutely. They have such a tremendous program.
Our very young softball team had to hook up with them to open the season.
First pitch to Wyatt Reed is right down Main Street for strike 1.
Reed has reached on a fielder's choice, line to left, walked and scored, went down on strikes his last time.
Reed, a senior from the Tampa area, Alonzo High School. The 0-1 to Reed, in the dirt, gets away from the catcher, and Ramirez will easily jog down to second base. Go down as a wild pitch there for
Brian Lopez on the mound, and Brad did all he could to block that one. Sometimes the ball takes a funny hop away with that, especially with the breaking ball and a lot of spin.
2 men down here for Lopez. A 1-1 count here to Wyatt Reed. The 1-1 swung on, hit to the third baseman. Easy scoop, throws over to first. Scoop by the first baseman in time. And that will retire the Tigers. Tigers leave one stranded. Do get a hit, but leave one stranded. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Tigers 11, Eagles 1.
Bottom of the 7th, and the Tigers lead it 11-1. 2-run second, 3-run third, 4-run fourth. and a 2-run sixth. The Eagles' lone run came in the bottom of the first. Carlos Sanchez, RBI single, scoring Christian Draper. Julio Flores will be the winning pitcher unless the Eagles rally big from behind. But I'm going to call player of the game, and now that you know about it, you would agree, Josh. Joseph Eischen, 4 hits, 2 homers, a double, and 4 runs driven in. How could you not name him the player of the game?
Yeah, and talking with Coach Johnson prior to the season, he just talked about needing those key transfers to come over and really affect things positively for EWC. When you've got Eischen out there in left field, you've got Freddie Torres in center. Things really looking well there for EWC with these transfers.
Leading off is David D.Q. Quevedo. He has a base hit and a well-hit fly out to center field. And if not for Eischen, Julio Flores might have been our player of the game. 4 innings, 1 run, it was earned, 2 hits, a walk, and a strikeout. Kamal Richardson has thrown 2 innings and allowed just a walk, but nothing else.
And Julio had an injury-plagued last season, and with some arm issues, and it's good to see him get back into the groove of things here for EWC.
No balls and a strike. Quevedo at the plate, now playing right field. Started at first base, and a foul tip right into the mitt. Makes it no balls, 2 strikes. Burns said, due up next, Brian Lopez to follow. The 0-2 coming from Richardson, and chopped foul. Probably good that it was foul the way Rich has played third base today. He must have known it because he didn't even move for it.
Now that Coach Copeland in the third base box.
Coach Copeland will try to make the play sometimes. Here's the 0-2. And it looked like Quevedo pulled off that one and sliced it out of play. Quevedo has some pop. He's hit a few home runs. Got 3 last year. Looking for his first one so far this year, but he's going to break out of it. He hits the ball hard most of the time up there. This one nearly hit him, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. So David Quevedo trying to start 7th inning rally. And the 1-2 on the way. Well hit towards the gap. Keelan Washington races over, makes the dive, and why am I not surprised? That's the way it has gone throughout this whole ball game, and of course I've seen Keelan do that many times.
Welcome home, Keelan Washington. There's just so much speed out there in the outfield between center and right field, between Washington and Freddie Torres. It's going to be a fun stretch down here for EWC.
And I mentioned Miguel Beltre doing that to us a couple of years ago. How's he doing?
He's doing well. He just got married over the
All right. Congratulations, Miguel.
He's doing very, very well.
1 out. Bases empty. Daniel Burns said the catcher has been hit by a pitch and called out on strikes. Line drive, foul. That'll slice out of play.
And Miguel actually got married to our class salutatorian from the 2017 class from Larissa.
All right.
Volleyball player and track athlete. So.
I remember that name from the volleyball. Okay, Lady Tigers have come here a couple of times in the past few years. That one misses inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, congratulations, Miguel. He may not remember me, but I remember him pretty well out there on the field. 1-1 on the way from Richardson, and popped foul back over near the buildings and out of play.
I got to give a shout out to my good friend Marcus Dixon for the.
Oh yeah, Marcus.
Such a great guy. I know you guys had the senior night last
right.
night. So,
and we are the #1 seed. We're still waiting for the final seeding to come out, but right now we're #1.
Yeah, always great to see Marcus doing great things over here.
You want to talk about a great guy? Marcus Dixon, I met both of his parents. I've met his father before, but never met his mother until senior night, and I can see why he's such a great gentleman. They are fabulous people. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brandon Tucker, our only other senior on the men's basketball team. Brian Lopez on the baseball team is a lone senior for Coach Copeland. This is a very young team, and a beautiful pitch from Richardson. Caught Burnside looking for the 2nd time, and that is out number 2. Eagles down to their final out. Well, Brian, it wouldn't be a walk-off, but let's see if you can do it again in the bottom of the 7th of game 2. This is a man who won it for us earlier today.
This is the culprit, okay.
So Lopez in there, but nobody on base, 2 outs, and a pitch hit hard down a left field line and just foul. Rich made the play, and he came up ready to foul. Lopez started in center, came out, came back into the ball game on the mound in the top half of the inning. Gave up a hit, but nothing else. No balls and a strike to our lone senior, Brian Lopez. Curveball hit well into left, but that looks like that's going to be it, as Aishin, very fitting the way he's played this game to make the final out in the field, and that's going to do it. Well, the Eagles earn the split. They take game one 3-1 thanks to Jacob Burr and Brian Lopez, and a couple of big rallies early on in game number 2 for the Tigers. Julio Flores the winner, and Nick McAdon takes the loss for the Eagles. Josh, thanks for joining us as you're able to get here. I know you want to go say hi to Coach Reggie and your Tigers, and we're always glad that you're able to pop in whenever. We'll keep following each other on Facebook and everywhere else. Maybe we'll hook up again later in the season. Josh Jackson, the voice of the Edward Waters Tigers. Dean Bureau, our cameraman. Coach John Copeland of the TBC Eagles, and the athletic director, Mr. John D. Jones. I'm Ray Bureau. Good night. God bless you from Trinity Baptist College.